Well, there go my plans for the day. I've got the bike turned around and I'll put the fork lock in. I can do that. I was getting ready to take the front wheel off. I guess I can do that. I was going to take it up and have the new tire put on, but my lady friend just left with the car. Okay, I'm stranded. Okay, fine. So anyway, I'm going to pull the front wheel off this thing and get ready to go to the moto tire. All right, so I got the bike on the lift and I'm going to put the fork lock in now. I've got the bike on the jack, but it's not being jacked up yet. It's just under there, pressing on it gently, lifting it gently. I put the safety hook, sky hook on it. It's not really lifting the bike either. When I get the bike jacked up with the front wheel in the air, I will tighten the sky hook just for stability. I work on bikes with them up on the jack a lot, but I don't like working on the bikes with them up on the jack when I'm working on the wheel or forks, because you're moving things around. And I've never had a bike shift to the side and try to fall off the jack while it's up on the lift, and I never want to have one. So I use the sky hook a lot as a safety, just to make sure the bike doesn't accidentally shift to the side when I'm doing something stupid and try to fall off the jack, which would be really interesting. I'm honestly not sure what the dynamics are. If it fell off the jack without the front wheel and fell to the side, would it twist? Would it try to slide out to the side? Would it turn the whole lift all over on its side? Would it go over and stop with the bike? I don't know what would happen, but I know I don't want to find out. So I use the sky hook as a safety, just in case. And so far so good. So I'm going to put the new fork lock. It goes in right here, this little area here. Let's see if I can zoom in for you. It goes down in this cylinder area, and you can see the hole right there. That's where the grub screw goes. The grub screw, British for Allen bolt. This is the old one that's jammed. This is the new one. Came in with 2 keys. I already got one. It came in and it wouldn't work. It would go about halfway, matter of fact, just about that far, and jam. So I tried to fix it with the Dremel tool. Mistake. So this one works just fine. So I'm going to pop it in there now, put the locking screw, the grub screw, into it to hold it down, and that'll take care of that. Then I can put the headlight back on. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Then I'll drop the front wheel off. All right, fork lock's installed, and I'm going to pull the front wheel off now. So I'll start that process. All right, I got the wheel off the ground, and the safety chains holding, not really holding the bike up, just standing safety while it's raised up on the jack, which I don't like centered. I'm gonna have to let it down. That jack's not good. Stand by. Okay, the fork lock is installed and headlight reinstalled. I'm gonna pull the front wheel off now. This brake is a double leading shoe or twin leading shoe, depending on your own description. It's the best of the best before they did the disc, because it's twin leading shoe and it's self-centering. You don't have to worry about adjusting the bar between the front and rear brakes, because when you pull the cable, this one activates that and the inner cable activates that, and they are automatically centering. So it's the best of the best. And basically the way to take this wheel off is I'm going to release this cable very easily. Drop these 4 bolts off the bottom of the forks, and at that point in time the wheel should just drop down and off. That's capital should, but I think it'll work. All right, well, the front wheel is completely free, and I really thought with this narrow front tire that I was going to make it through the fender mounts, but I'm not. So I'm going to take the fender mounts off now so I can pull this tire out, wheel out. Well, I thought I was lucking out. I thought maybe this narrow tire would clear, but it won't. It'll give me an opportunity to clean up these rusty bolts. Okay, I got the fender off, it'll give me the opportunity to clean up all this mounting assembly and these nasty little bolts. And so that'll be good. As I say, without the car here, there's not much else I can do. I've got the wheel off. I'm going to remove this nut here and take the brake assembly out and then set it aside, pending taking it up to the tire shop. And this is the joy of having the right tool for the right job. This is a deep well socket. I've ground the edges down so that they fit inside the hole here, and we're just going comes off really easy. It's nice having the right tool for the right job. There we go. Brakes are great. They look good. I'll clean all this up and put it aside. So we're done for the day over here, and I'll just do some cleaning on parts and probably call it a day. Well, it's about 1:30 on a Saturday. I've got this wheel back from the Motor Tire wheel shop. It's all set and ready to go. I've got to put the axle back in because you have to take it out in order for them to spin it and balance it. So I'm going to put that back in and put it back on the bike. Okay, I got the wheel put back together and in place. I'm getting ready to put the end caps on. These are keyed, by the way. You can't put them in wrong. The little offset here goes towards the wheel. So I don't even think they'll go on backwards. I hope not. No, you can't force them on backwards. So they go on like this with the little raised area here facing the wheel. Like so. Okay. Now when you tighten them down, don't go too heavy-handed. Tighten them down all the way and snug them up really tight, but don't over-tighten them because you'll crack them right here, especially the stock aluminum ones. These may not be stock, but the aluminum ones that are not chrome-plated, they'll crack right here and you'll end up buying a set of fork caps. So we'll do that in just a second and I'll show you. All right, I'm going to snug these fork caps up and then go back over them by hand. I'm going corner to corner. They're all snugged. And the wheel seems to be nicely centered. The gap looks reasonably good. I'm going to go back over them now by hand as soon as I find a ratchet. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I snugged all the nuts. I didn't show it, I didn't video it because frankly it takes two hands to get them done right. I got a good nice crack across here, opening spaced evenly, and they're nice and tight. So that's good. I'm going to do the fender now before I do the brake linkage. I went ahead and just for the heck of it, I cleaned and polished, not polished, I cleaned and painted all these bits and pieces and laid out all new shiny bolts and nuts. So I'm going to use these to put the fender back on. All right, the front tire is mounted. The front fender is mounted. I took all these nicely painted parts, put them together, and have the front fender mounted. I do have to ask myself the question so many times, why did they settle for incredibly difficult to install this fender? Then with just a little bit more engineering effort, they could have made it totally freaking impossible. That is, without a doubt, the least friendly fender mount I've ever seen in my life. But after working with it for a very long time on both sides, trial and error, it's in there and it looks good. So I'm going to hook up the brakes now. By the way, before I put it together, I took the brakes internally and turned the adjusters completely loose. So I'm going to adjust the adjusters first and then install the brake cable. All right, there are two brake shoes. Each brake shoe has its own adjuster so that you can adjust and take out the wear as the brake shoes themselves wear a tad bit. It's rather clever. They gave us this one hole which reaches in and adjusts this adjuster, and then you spin it up here and adjust that adjuster. So I'm going to bring it down here and I'm going to show you the adjuster in here. It's going to take a little bit of doing. I'm going to try to zoom in and I'll use my light to see if I can find it. And actually there it is. Okay, so I'm going to try to zoom in on that hole and show you the adjuster screw in there. Okay, let's see if I can get it to focus. I wonder if I can by focusing in there. Anyway, see that screw head in there? That's what you turn to do the adjusting. Oh, this is so much fun. Anyway, there's a plain screw head in there, and you use a plain screwdriver into that hole, find the adjuster, and adjust it till it just drags a little bit. I'll set up the tripod. All right, the front wheel is mounted and the brakes are adjusted. And I'm not going to go into the adjustment procedure because it's basically trial and error. But anyway, I'm going to give her a spin and give her some brake. And there it is. That's good, solid brake. Giving her a spin. Oh yeah. Okay. Self-centering down here. That's the neatest thing about this twin leading shoe, or double leading shoe, however you call it, it automatically centers. See that? Kind of neat. Okay, I'm going to let the bike down now. All right, let's do a little test on the fork lock. I don't know, once again, it's Triumph making things more difficult than necessary. It's not a matter of just turning the handlebars all the way to the left and then turning the key. You actually have to hit the destination receptacle for the fork lock unit in order for it to go in. And that takes finesse. So, here we go. I'll show you. All right, so the key goes in with the teeth facing forward. Not easily, but it does go in with the teeth facing forward once you've decided to play with it. Okay, now, to lock it, you have to turn it counterclockwise. But in order to turn it counterclockwise, you have to find there, the destination is hole. It's right about there, and you have to turn it all the way around 180 degrees. And now it's locked, okay? Then you take the key out and you leave your bike locked, and when you come back, you found out that you've lost the key and your fork is locked and you're in deep trouble. Well, anyway, so once again, key goes in, this time with the teeth facing this way. You shake the handlebar and you unlock it and you take the key out. All right, now for this bike, what I'm going to do Let's just come over here for a minute. Maybe zoom out a little, or in a little. Yeah, like that. Let's get Jake out of the way. Don't ask what I was doing with the carpenter's hammer. You don't want to know. Okay. I'm going to take that key ring, these two keys that fit the ignition. We'll put this one on the key ring. I'm going to put this fork lock on it. And I'm going to take this second fork lock key and I'm going to put it over here with this one so that you get really confused. Okay, one's fork lock, one's ignition. I'm going to put these two together. I'm going to put these two on here. And these two, once I put them together with this little jobby-do that came with them, or came with the set, I'm going to put these inside the headlight. So, should he lose his keys, he can open the headlight and find these taped inside the headlight. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Or I could put them on the side cover. Let me think about that. Let me look at the side cover. Hang on. I'll take you with me. Let's see. Coming over here, unveiling the motorcycle. It's a pretty thing, isn't it? Okay, no, you can't take that side cover off because of the air cleaners. This later model, no, you really can't. And I can't think of any other place I want to. The seat doesn't lock, so I could put this second set of keys somewhere under the seat, which would make them somewhat more accessible to both the owner and a thief. So what I'm going to do now, think. Where would be a good place under here to hide a second set of keys? I could wrap them in something. Yeah, I think I could wrap them up in cloth and put a piece of Gorilla Tape around there to hold them in place. And that would make them inconspicuous. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put these spare keys right here in this trough. I'm going to wrap them in oil-soaked cloth and put a piece of Gorilla Tape around this thing completely to hold them in place. That'll make them somewhat inconspicuous, but available for the owner to use should he lose his keys. All right, so progress is being made. Okay, plan B. I realize that I have two identical ignition switches, so I'm going to put in a good switch with a new fork lock in the hidey place, and this will become the primary ignition and fork lock and I guess security lock key that the client will use when he rides the bike. I'll take this last key, which is also sort of an ignition key, give it back to the client with the suggestion that he throw it away somewhere or leave it at home. So these are going to become the hidden keys, and I'm going to go hide them on the bike. All right, so this is the underseat area. He keeps a nice rag there. I'll put a fuse in tomorrow when I start the bike. This is the key under here. It's somewhat innocuous. He can find a better hiding place if he wishes, but it's in here in an oil-soaked cloth, so it's available if he loses his keys. So at this point in time, I think I have fulfilled all of the requests that he made. Let's see, one other thing I said I would do, and let's see, I was going to tighten this Kickstarter. So let's see, was it this one? Yeah, it is this one. Okay, it's got that silly cutter pin. Let's just, I'm going to put a little penetrating oil and see if I can just tighten it. All right, so let's see if I can tighten this Kickstarter, and put a little oil on it, let it penetrate. So yeah, I'm completely convinced that this cotter pin, as they call it, and this nut are specifically made with matching threads, of which there is no other use anywhere on any of these bikes. I've never been able to find a nut that would fit this cotter pin in my whole 20 years doing this, or more. Oh, heck, it's loose. Oh, all right, well, that was surprising. I didn't expect it to be loose like that. Let's just prop this with my knee. And okay. All right. Okay, well, that's loose now, so there was nothing to it. Sorry, guys. No special anything. Just tightened it. All right. You could always do, tighten until loose and then back off a quarter turn, but I just soon just tighten it. So, nothing special to tightening the Kickstarter. Yeah, that's nice. All right. At this point in time, I'm going to leave it till tomorrow and start her up and probably even test ride her. So, good. I'll be darned. Way to go.